Excellent!
G'day everyone, Steve from Excellent Fishing here. Now today I want to take you to some of my most productive land-based fishing spots in Melbourne's west. Going to be going over freshwater and saltwater. Going to be covering things like where to fish, what kind of species you might come across, what bait and lures to use, and what tackle. So if you're new to land-based fishing or you just want a few extra spots, then you're in the right place. Alright, let's get into it. Our first location is the Marabanong River. The good thing about the Marabanong River is it runs for miles, so there's no shortage of spots. I like to fish in the Footscray area, the run-in or the run-out tides. I like to fish around the structure like this jetty and around the bridges. That's where the main species like to hang out. Some of the main species you might find here are bream, mullet and pinkies, and if you're lucky, a mulloway. The best baits and lures I found for here are prawns and chicken. If you want to use soft plastics, 2.5 inch grubs would be a good choice in motor oil and bloodworm. If you want to fish hard body lures, I'd recommend using small crankbaits, mussel vibes, or the good old cranker crab. Those should be some good options. The gear I like to use, something light like a 1 to 3 kilo or a 2 to 4 kilo rod. That's all you need for fish like bream. Our next fishing spot is the Warmies in Newport. This is the most popular spot to fish in the winter time, with plenty of fish to be had as well. When the ponds are on, I like to fish close. If they are not running, I like to fish closer to the boat ramp. Some of the species you might find here at the Warmies are tailor, salmon, bream, pinkies, and the occasional jewfish landed. For bait, I like to use mussels, chicken and pilchards. If you are using lures, paddle tail soft plastics or Dyer double clutch hard body lures should go well here. I tend to use a light to medium setup, so a 2 to 4 kilo rod or a 3 to 5 kilo, that's all you need for here. Our next land-based fishing spot is Eltona Pier in Williamstown. I like to walk up and down this little side pier here and flick lures. I start off right at the start in the shallows and then work my way down to the end. Some of the species you might find here are flathead, pinkies, salmon and bream. The lures I like to flick here are paddle tail or grub style lures with a 1/8 jig head and a 1/0 hook. I like to fish a light rod, 1 to 3 kilo or a 2 to 4 kilo. If you aren't getting any bites here, there's lots of other spots around Williamstown area to try, such as Ferguson Pier, Point Gellibrand and the Williamstown Rocks. Our next land-based location is Eltona Pier. I used to fish here a lot in the late 90s and 2000s, and it sure has changed a lot since then with a whole new rebuild of the pier. I like to fish here in the afternoons and nights, right at the end of the pier, as there is an artificial reef. Some of the main species you might catch here are snapper in the warmer months, along with your bread and butter species such as flathead, pinkies and salmon. The bait I like to use here, pilchards and squid. If you're fishing soft plastics, I like to use the Munro's worms or the Berkeley Gulp soft plastics. You might want to use a heavier outfit if you're fishing for snapper here. Anything from a 4 to 6 kilo or a 6 to 10 kilo with a 5000 size reel. Our next spot is Sanctuary Lakes. I like to fish here on these little jetties and bridges. There are quite a few of them around the lake, and it's quite shallow too here, so you don't need much lead. You will find a lot of bream and mullet here. I've even seen a few carp as well. The best baits for Sanctuary Lakes is chicken. Try burling up and you should have no problems finding the fish. If you're using hard body lures, I like to use small crankbaits or grubs for soft plastic fishing. For your rod, you only need something light like a 1 to 3 kilo rod with a 2500 reel. It's a lot of fun on the lake here. Our next location is the Wereby River. I like to fish here during the early morning or afternoons. I like to fish around the Riverbend Historical Park or the Heathrow Bridge. Try fishing near structure. That's where you'll find the fish. Some of the species you might find here in the Wereby River are bass, estuary perch, redfin, carp and yellow belly. I find the best baits for here are janjack worms and yabbies. Usually rig them up on a running sinker rig. If you're using lures, try throwing a cicada lure or a jackal pompadour. You'll only need a light rod for fishing here, so 2 to 4 kilo with a 2500 reel is all you need. Our next land-based location is Wyndham Harbour in Wereby South. There are a few rock walls you can fish here at the harbour. I like this one. I tend to fish near the end, with one rod out either side just to see where the fish are. Some of the species you might find here are some good sized snapper in the warmer months, along with flatties, salmon, gummy sharks and even mulloway. I find the best baits for here are squid, pilchards, salmon fillets and snook fillets. If you are using lures, try 4-inch paddle tails or 7-inch turtleback worms. I like to use an 8-foot rod, 6 to 10 kilos with a 5000 reel for bait. If I'm using lure rod, 3 to 5 kilo with a 2500 reel. Our last location is Nan Park in Melbourne. I like to fish close to the banks here, and near the bridge is also good. You can fish here all year round. In summer, I fish here at night, and in winter, I fish here during the day. They stock this pond with trout, Murray cod, yellow belly and silver perch. The best baits to use here are yabbies, worms, power bait and cheese. I like to use a light rod, so 2 to 4 kilo rod with a 2500 reel. If you are fishing with lures, try throwing a swim bait or a top water like a jackal pompadour. Well, that's it for this one, guys. Let me know your favourite fishing spots in Melbourne's West and what you like to target. And hopefully I've given you a few extra spots to go land-based and catch some fish. Anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you next time.